Stop everything you are doing and listen to me. Virgo, you did not click on this message by chance. The very weight you have been carrying in silence for the past few weeks brought you here today. I can feel the exhaustion settling in your shoulders, that strange fatigue that arrives exactly when you are about to win. You believe the sudden blocks in your life are caused by bad luck or a specific person you're trying to unmask. But it is actually a blind, nameless spiritual envy, an invisible siege drawn to your growing light, and you need to understand its mechanics right now before it drains the next major victory of your cycle. You have been trying to find a face in the dense fog, exhausting yourself, when all you needed to do was raise a mirror that reflects the nameless envy back to its source. You will uncover the real source of this unseen weight. You will understand why the people you suspect the most are merely distractions. You will learn how to build an invisible wall of mirrors around your achievements before you even speak of them. You will discover the subtle signs that an envious energy has breached your field. And before this message closes, I will say a sentence about your life that you will carry with you for the next few months. Have you ever felt that strange exhaustion that settles in your bones exactly when you should be celebrating, as if an invisible weight was placed on your shoulders to keep you from rising? As if something in the back of your mind knew that someone in the shadows was actively rooting against you, but you felt too crazy to admit it out loud. What if this endless cycle of almost winning is not a stroke of bad luck, but the universe desperately trying to expose the invisible spiritual siege surrounding your Virgo path? Because while many waste their time pointing fingers and hunting for villains, few realize that every delayed victory carries a silent drain, a hidden envy, and a spiritual cord that has not yet been severed. But what if the great turning point lies exactly in this revelation you haven't yet been able to apply? Now think with me. Why does everything stall in my life just when it is about to work out? What if every door that closed at the last minute, every compliment with a bitter aftertaste, every sudden argument that ruined a good day, every unexplainable fatigue after a social gathering and this constant sensation of being secretly watched were actually signs of a spiritual envy you have ignored for far too long? It was searching for answers to this that I found this digital book called The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This book is not just a read. It is a revelation created for Virgos who want to understand the hidden mechanics of this nameless envy, sever the invisible cords draining your potential, and build an energetic shield to finally grow without apologizing for your brilliance. Many Virgos already feel they need to protect themselves from this energy surrounding them, but they haven't yet made the decision to download the digital book. Download it right now. It is available in the first pinned comment. But pay attention, the access could be taken offline at any moment. It reveals reflections, hidden signs and directions that can transform your path. Do not wait for one more hard-earned victory to crumble at the finish line to finally seek the protection you deserve. Click now, download your copy, and discover why the spiritual envy that tried to keep you stuck might be the exact proof that the universe has prepared a light for you that is simply too powerful to be ignored. If this first word has already touched something inside you, write, "My light is sealed down below." Not for me, but because another Virgo who is exactly where you were a year ago needs this message to find them tonight. There is a map for this path of protection, and it is already within your reach, sitting safely in the first pinned comment. I will return to it shortly, because right now, before you can lock this heavy energy out of your field, you need to understand exactly how it operates. And if for any reason you are not interested or cannot acquire the digital book right now, there is still another door open for you. I don't receive a single penny for any of these messages I deliver here every day. Nothing at all. And yet, they keep coming out, every day, for you and for every Virgo who still needs to be reached. If at any moment your heart wishes to give back a little of what you received, there is a voluntary donation link open in the first pinned comment, right below the book. Whatever amount fits in your hand today, whatever amount your heart points to, this is what keeps this channel standing. This is what makes the next message reach another Virgo tomorrow, exactly as it reached you today. I am waiting for you there, Virgo. I haven't even told you the most important part yet. There are 4 signs that this invisible siege is already acting upon your life, and you will recognize at least one of them. I need you to breathe slowly, Virgo. and let the noise of the outside world fade away for a second. We are about to map exactly how this energy has been moving around you. Notice how your body reacts to what I'm about to say now. Just observe if a familiar tension tightens your shoulders or if a sudden realization hits the back of your mind. Because this invisible siege does not announce its arrival with loud noises or grand declarations. It creeps in through the cracks of your routine, disguising itself as ordinary setbacks. There are 4 specific signs that this nameless envy is already acting upon your field, and as I describe them, you will realize that you have been fighting a spiritual battle while thinking you were just having a bad month. The first sign is that unexplainable heaviness in the back of your neck right after you share a piece of good news at a family table, as if the room's temperature just dropped. You are sitting there, finally proud of a small victory, and the moment the words leave your mouth, an unseen weight settles on your skin. The smiles around you seem forced and the air grows thick. You try to rationalize it, blaming the tension on something else, but deep down, you know the atmosphere shifted the exact second your light was revealed. The second sign hits you exactly when you're about to cross the finish line. It is the sudden cancellation of a project or a guaranteed yes that inexplicably turns into a no at 4:00 p.m. on a Friday. For some of you, this appears as a sudden financial block just when you were about to pay off a debt. For others, it is a conflict at home that erupts out of nowhere exactly when you were feeling genuinely happy. You called it an unlucky coincidence at the finish line. The universe called it an invisible siege. The third sign is the bitter aftertaste of a compliment from someone you thought was a friend, delivered with a smile that simply did not reach their eyes. They praise your growth, but your stomach instantly ties into a knot. A part of you wants to brush it off, to convince yourself that they mean well. You called it paranoia when you felt someone's smile was fake. The universe called it spiritual perception. And the fourth sign is waking up exhausted at 3:00 a.m., staring at the ceiling, feeling your energy completely drained even though nothing physically demanding happened the day before. Your mind races, trying to find a logical reason for this profound fatigue, but your bones feel heavy, with an exhaustion that simply does not belong to you. You called it your own natural exhaustion. The universe called it an energetic drain. All of these signs have a common origin, Virgo, and it has a name. But before the name, you need something else. You need a shield. You need to know how to stop this drain before it takes one more ounce of your peace. There is a path of protection, and I am going to open it right now, before the name, before the word. Because whoever carries the weight of this invisible siege needs relief before receiving the revelation. Stay. And it is exactly here that the path of protection opens. The signs that just echoed in your chest did not hit you by chance, Virgo. That sudden drop in energy that hits you like a cold wall just when your life starts moving forward is not an accident. It is that creeping certainty in the back of your mind that someone in the shadows is actively rooting against you, even when they smile right to your face. What if this exhausting loop of almost making it is not a flaw in your design, but a blaring cosmic alarm? The universe is desperately trying to show you the invisible siege that has latched onto your frequency. It is not a punishment. It is a demand for boundaries. You have been carrying the weight of rooms you shouldn't even be holding, absorbing the heavy stares of people who cannot stand the sight of your growth. I have seen Virgos who are exactly where you are right now. I have sat with them, exhausted, drained down to the bone, doubting their own sanity and wondering if they were just being paranoid. They were instinctively hiding their joy, swallowing their good news at the family table, because every time they dared to celebrate a victory out loud, something inexplicably broke the very next day. They spent years cutting off friends, changing jobs and moving to new cities, always thinking they were finally leaving that one toxic person behind. But the heavy energy always returned, because they were trying to put a human face to a spiritual frequency. Look at the patterns. The last-minute cancellations, the friends who disappeared when you leveled up the heavy stairs you pretend not to notice. You cannot fight a shadow by throwing punches in the dark. It is not bad luck. It is not your natural fatigue. It is a spiritual drain. It was searching for answers to this that I found this digital book called the great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo. This is not just a read, it is a revelation and the precise mechanism you need to understand the hidden mechanics of this nameless envy. It is the exact tool to sever the invisible cords draining your potential and build an energetic shield around your aura, so you can finally grow without ever apologizing for your brilliance again. Because listen to me carefully, Virgo. Spiritual envy does not need a face to drain you, it only needs your attention. The siege loses its power the exact moment you stop looking for a culprit and start shielding your light. And this cosmic window of configuration does not wait for you to feel ready. Every single day you walk without this map is another ounce of your vital energy handed over to the shadows. Every major victory you leave unprotected is another leak in your golden cup, draining your strength right before the finish line. Every time you try to solve this by confronting people instead of locking your field, the siege tightens. Do not wait for the next sudden block to understand what this current one came to teach you. Do not wait for another opportunity to be cancelled at the last minute to realize your walls have been breached. The digital book is available in the first pinned comment. Download it right now while this word is still alive and vibrating inside your chest while the door is open. Because what is waiting for you inside those pages is the absolute shielding of your field that only this complete map can secure. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine that walled garden once again. You have been staying awake all night, exhausting yourself down to the bone trying to catch the unseen thief who keeps trampling your rare flowers in the dark. You have been trying to find a face in the dense fog, wasting your precious energy. But the moment you stop hunting for the villain and simply raise those walls of mirrored glass, the thief is entirely blinded. The fog hits the glass and violently bounces back to whoever sent it. You no longer need to know their name because the envious energy simply cannot breach your field anymore. You only need to know that your space is sealed, protected, and yours alone. And as I had already told you earlier, Virgo, besides the digital book that is in the first pinned comment, there is that open voluntary donation link right below the book. I continue without receiving a single penny for each message that leaves here for you. That is why this link exists, so that another Virgo tomorrow finds exactly this message that found you today. Whatever amount your heart points to, every gesture like this keeps our channel standing and makes the next message reach whoever needs it, exactly as it reached you today. The next layer goes deeper. And now, with the path before you, the name descends. It is not a random sequence of bad luck. It is not a cosmic punishment for your past mistakes, nor is it a flaw in your perfectionist nature. It is the layers of the nameless siege. You see, Virgo, this spiritual envy does not strike all at once like a sudden storm. It operates in 3 distinct, calculated layers to slowly dismantle your frequency. The first layer is the distraction. This is when the siege makes you fixate on a specific person at work or a distant relative, convincing you that their bad intentions are the absolute root of your sudden problems. You spend hours analyzing their words, exhausting your brilliant mind to unmask them, wasting your precious energy chasing shadows in the dark. But that face is merely a decoy. Then comes the second layer, the silent drain. This is the sudden drop in temperature you feel the moment you share your good news. It is the leak in your golden cup, slowly siphoning away the momentum of your victories before they even have the chance to fully manifest. And beneath it all lies the third layer, the true source, the blind, nameless spiritual envy itself. It is an invisible frequency drawn entirely to your growing light, an ancient siege that feeds purely on your attention and your exhaustion. You have to understand this today. Spiritual envy does not need a face to drain you. It only needs your attention. The siege loses its power the exact moment you stop looking for a culprit and start shielding your light. Imagine a vast, beautiful garden that produces the rarest flowers in the entire region. But every single morning, the gardener wakes up to find its fertile soil trampled by unseen feet in the middle of the night. Desperate to protect his life's work, the gardener stays awake every single night, pacing in the freezing dark, staring into the dense fog, trying to catch the thief. He exhausts himself into the ground, losing sleep, losing his peace, constantly looking for a face to blame while his flowers continue to be crushed. But all he ever really needed to do was stop hunting the shadows and simply raise the walls higher, so the profound beauty inside could only be seen by those specifically invited in. This is exactly where you are right now, Virgo. You are exhausting yourself looking for the thief when you desperately need to be raising your walls. You have been trying to find a face in the dense fog, draining your vital energy down to the bone, when all you needed to do was raise a mirror that reflects the nameless envy back to its source, blinding the siege entirely. I have watched you carry this invisible weight in silence, thinking you had to fight this entire battle completely alone. I saw you swallow your joy and hide your good news at that table, because something warned you the room wasn't safe. You are not crazy, and you are not paranoid for feeling the shift in the air. I allowed this heavy energy to press against your shoulders, only so you would finally learn how to seal your light and claim the sovereign protection you deserve. There is a woman who carried this exact same siege for years on end. She was brilliant, just like you, but every time she was about to reach the peak of her success, an unexplainable block would throw her back to the starting line. She kept cutting off friends, changing jobs, and abruptly moving to new cities, always convinced that she had finally left the toxic person behind. And yet, after a few months of peace, the heavy energy always returned, because she was trying to put a human face to a spiritual frequency. What finally changed her life was not finding the ultimate villain. She realized the envy was drawn to her light, not her location. She stopped pointing fingers at the people around her, firmly shielded her own energetic field, and the exhausting cycle of sabotage finally broke. You are still processing this right now, feeling that strange shiver of profound recognition running down the back of your neck. You are realizing just how much vital energy you wasted looking for a culprit, when all you needed was an energetic boundary. A part of you might even feel a sudden wave of relief, knowing that you don't have to fight a specific person anymore. You just have to claim your space. Take a slow, deep breath and let your shoulders drop. But hold your ground. The deepest truth is still ahead, and it has your name on it. But this revelation is only half the battle. Now that you finally understand the invisible siege drawn to your growing light, you have to decide exactly who you are going to be inside it. For years, you have been navigating this dense fog blindly, instinctively adopting different roles just to survive the heavy energy you couldn't explain. There are 3 ways a Virgo responds to this nameless envy. The first is the over-explainer. This is the Virgo who instinctively dimmed their light to make others comfortable. They are the ones who always downplay their own victories, constantly justifying their success to people who didn't even ask, desperately trying to apologize for their brilliance just to avoid the sudden drop in the room's temperature. They carry the immense, exhausting weight of trying to keep everyone else feeling secure, sacrificing their own hard-earned joy in the process. The second is the silent observer. This is the Virgo who absorbed the weight of the room without fighting back. They feel every subtle shift in energy, every fake smile, every heavy stare, but they choose to swallow it all in silence to avoid conflict. Virgo carries the unspoken tension. Virgo sustains the broken harmony. Virgo never asks for help. But underneath that calm, composed exterior, they are entirely drained down to the bone, carrying an exhaustion that does not belong to them, because they chose to be a sponge for the shadows instead of a mirror. And then, there is the third path, the one you are stepping into today, the sovereign shield. This is the Virgo who finally stops apologizing, the one who shines unapologetically behind invisible walls, knowing that their light is a cosmic birthright, not a burden to be hidden. They no longer waste their vital energy fighting the envy or looking for a culprit. They simply lock their field and let the fog bounce back. Notice the center of your chest right now, Virgo. Take a slow, deep breath and let your shoulders drop completely. That warmth expanding inside you, that quiet, undeniable strength finally waking up, that has a name. You have played the over-explainer just to survive, and you have been the silent observer just to keep the peace. But today, right here, the universe is crowning you as the sovereign shield. But upholding this new truth requires a precise map. Because the Virgo who suddenly knows their own worth, without knowing the exact mechanics of the siege that surrounds them, will inevitably return to carrying heavy stairs that are not theirs. To hold this ground, you need the exact tool I found when I was searching for answers. The great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo. You can find it right now in the first pinned comment. This digital book is the definitive companion of protection you need to ensure this new posture does not crumble the moment you walk into a crowded room. It is the exact guide dedicated to sustaining this sovereign identity that has just been declared over your life, teaching you how to permanently lock your energetic field and reflect the nameless envy back to its source. Do not wait for the heavy stairs to return before you learn how to uphold the crown you just accepted. Click the link in the first pinned comment and download your copy now. Secure the map that will keep your invisible walls standing tall, so you never have to dim your brilliant frequency for anyone else's comfort ever again. I promised I would return to this, but before we move forward, you need to know exactly how this cycle will try to return to your life, because it will try. I promised I would return to this, and before we move forward, you need to know exactly how this cycle will try to return to your life. The siege will not give up easily, Virgo. In the coming days, it will desperately test the new walls you just raised, using 3 specific tactics. The first tactic is the sudden urge to explain yourself or justify your success to someone who didn't even ask. You will achieve something great, and almost immediately, a quiet, anxious voice will tell you to downplay it. It will convince you to make sure nobody feels left behind. When this happens, you will use your first defense, the weapon of silence. You will close your mouth, swallow the justification, and refuse to offer a single apology for your hard-earned victory. You will let the uncomfortable silence sit in the room until the urge to overshare completely starves. The second tactic comes disguised as affection. It is the masked compliment that immediately makes you doubt your own brilliant talent. Someone will smile and praise your recent growth, but carefully slip in a small, passive-aggressive critique that instantly ties your stomach into a knot. For some of you, this will happen at work. For others, it will be a subtle comment from someone you always considered a close friend. Here, you will use the weapon of the mirror. You do not need to confront them out loud. You will simply visualize that solid mirrored glass rising from your chest and mentally say, "I return this." You will watch the heavy energy bounce right off your shield and go straight back to its sender. The third tactic is the impulse to hide a sudden blessing because you feel inexplicably guilty for being happy. You will receive a beautiful piece of good news, and instead of celebrating, your first instinct will be to hide it away in the dark so it doesn't trigger the siege. To break this, you will use the weapon of the claim. You will stand alone in an empty room, pull your shoulders back and state clearly out loud, "I deserve this light." You will force the vibration of those words out of your throat, actively claiming the space the universe just cleared for you. These 3 weapons protect you from what I managed to show you today, but the cycle has far more layers than can fit in a single video. Because when the fake smile returns, when the sudden exhaustion hits your shoulders again, when the urge to hide your success tries to silence you, you will need a much deeper foundation. You will need to know exactly how to hold your ground when the spiritual envy tries to bypass these defenses. It was knowing this that I pointed you to the digital book, The Great Secret Behind the Spiritual Envy Against Virgo. This is the complete map of the armor you need, so this invisible siege never breaches your walls again. It provides the exact instructions and the final energetic seals to ensure that your field remains absolutely impenetrable no matter who walks into the room. I am not rushing you. I am warning you. Do not wait for the siege to tighten again before you open this map. This cosmic window does not wait for you to feel ready. It demands that you protect your light while the door is still open. Go to the first pinned comment, download your copy, and secure the complete armor your frequency desperately needs right now. Now take a deep breath. I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. Right now, I need you to stop learning for a moment and start feeling. We have mapped the invisible siege. We have named the silent drain, and we have armed you with the exact weapons to fight back. But none of that will hold if your body is still carrying the heavy tension of the last few weeks. I need you to close your eyes, Virgo. Drop your shoulders completely. Unclench your jaw. Take one slow, deep breath and let the exhausting noise of the outside world completely fade away. You have been on high alert for too long. Just listen to the sound of my voice. Visualize yourself standing in the center of a dense fog, feeling those heavy, unseen eyes pressing firmly against your back. You know this feeling perfectly well, the deep exhaustion of constantly being watched by the shadows, the anxiety of anticipating the next sudden block. Now imagine a circle of solid mirrored glass rising from the ground all around you, walling you in completely. The mirrors face strictly outward. You can see the heavy fog rushing toward you, but the exact moment it hits the glass, it violently bounces back to whoever sent it. You feel the physical weight immediately lifting off your neck. You feel your breathing finally expanding as your space is sealed, protected, and entirely yours alone. Now that you are safe inside these walls, it is time to permanently drop what no longer belongs to you. Release the weight of those heavy stares that made you doubt your own sanity. Release the sudden urge to hide your beautiful victories just to keep someone else comfortable. Release the unexplainable exhaustion you absorbed from rooms that were never safe for your light in the first place. Release the deep guilt of stepping into your own brilliance without apologizing for the immense space you take. As you let those heavy burdens fall to the ground, we activate a completely new frequency over your life. You are no longer the over-explainer, who dims their own light to maintain a fragile, toxic peace. You are no longer the silent observer, who absorbs the heavy energy of the room without ever fighting back. From this exact moment forward, you are stepping completely into the role of the sovereign shield, the one who shines unapologetically behind invisible walls, effortlessly returning every ounce of nameless envy back to its source. Before we seal this, write down below the name of someone you are carrying through this crossing. Or, if it is for you, write in one sentence what you are expecting the universe to return to you. I will read it, and you will not write this alone. Do not let go of this energy just yet. We are not done. Stay with me. The exhaustion you carried into this room is permanently sealed outside of it. The unseen eyes that weighed on your back are entirely blinded. The path ahead of you is completely cleared of the shadows that tried to follow you here. We, who carry in silence the weight of the rooms we enter, know exactly how draining it is to be a sponge for the world's insecurities. We have spent years believing we had to shrink our own brilliant frequency just to make sure nobody else felt uncomfortable. I saw you swallow your joy and hide your good news at that table because something warned you the room wasn't safe. You are not crazy for feeling that sudden drop in temperature, and you were never wrong to protect your vibration. We swallowed our own celebrations and hid our hard-earned victories, convinced that our happiness was somehow a burden to those around us. We absorbed the heavy stares and the fake smiles, playing the silent observer to maintain a fragile peace, but we can no longer afford to be the silent sponges of our own spiritual drain. We can no longer allow every major victory to be leaked away by a nameless envy that feeds purely on our exhaustion. We are stepping out of the dense fog today. The time has come to raise the mirrored glass, lock our energetic fields, and let the world finally deal with its own reflection. The sudden urge to explain your success to someone who didn't even ask ends right here. The masked compliment that used to make you doubt your brilliant talent ends right here. The impulse to hide a blessing because you feel guilty for being happy ends right here. Virgo has never been cold. Virgo is not envied for being demanding. Virgo is envied for quietly delivering what others only promise out loud. Don't let go yet. The universe has just told you, I saw you swallow your joy and hide your good news at that table because something warned you the room wasn't safe. And that is exactly why I need to remind you of something before sealing this. What was cut here is real. But tomorrow morning, the world will try to convince you that nothing changed. That cold gaze that will try to latch onto your back again tomorrow morning is already waiting for a crack in your new walls. The shadows do not give up easily, and maintaining the impenetrable shield that was erected during this crossing, so you don't lose it tomorrow, requires a constant, precise alignment. That is why the great secret behind the spiritual envy against Virgo is waiting for you in the first pinned comment. This digital book is the definitive map to ensure your frequency never drops back into the fog. It provides the exact seals and daily configurations you need to keep those mirrors standing tall. Do not wait for tomorrow to test the protection you built today. Click the link in the first pinned comment right now, download your copy and secure the armor your light desperately needs. There are thousands of Virgos listening to this right now in the exact same profound silence as you. If this voice found you today, subscribe to the channel. Not for the sake of numbers, but because the next message in this series will look exactly for the ones who have already crossed this first threshold. In the next video of this series, I'm going to show you the specific sign that appears exactly 3 days before the spiritual siege breaks, and why almost every Virgo completely ignores it. Don't miss it. And still in this video, Virgo, before I seal this hour with you, I come back one last time to this request. You have walked with me this far. You have crossed every word, every revelation, every sign. And if at any moment of this message you felt the universe touch you, you know this video was not an accident. The voluntary donation link remains open in the first pinned comment, right below the digital book. Not as a charge, not as an exchange, but as a giving back from the one who received to the source this message came from. Any amount your heart points to, and the universe sees every gesture. The universe sees. And the universe multiplies over your home, over your days, over what you don't even know is about to arrive. This was my last request. I'll be waiting for you there. Thank you so much. And when the heavy stares try to return, remember that the answer has a name, the great secret of spiritual envy, and it is already within your reach. You are no longer exhausting yourself trying to catch a thief in the dark. Your garden is permanently walled, your mirrors are raised, and the nameless envy has no choice but to bounce violently back into the fog, leaving your sovereign light completely untouched. Now, you can let go. This message is complete. What was seen was seen. What was cut was cut. Walk light, Virgo.